The sun rose over the Valley of Elah. Two armies stood on opposite hills. The army of Israel stood on one side. The army of the Philistines stood on the other. Neither side moved. The valley between them was silent. From the Philistine hill came a giant named Goliath. He stood taller than any man in the region. His bronze armor covered his chest. A heavy spear rested in his hand. Every day he walked into the open space and shouted at Israel. He called for one man to face him. He said the battle would be decided by that single fight. No one stepped forward. The soldiers of Israel looked at his size and felt fear rise in their hearts. This happened morning and evening for 40 days. Goliath returned with the same challenge and the same insults. King Saul and his soldiers grew tired and worried. Far from the battlefield lived a young shepherd named David. He cared for his father's sheep in Bethlehem. His older brothers served in the army. From time to time, David carried food to them and brought news home. One morning, Jesse, David's father, told him to take bread and grain to his brothers. David rose early, left the flock with a keeper, and traveled to the valley. When he reached the camp, the army was forming its lines. David handed the food to the keeper and ran to greet his brothers. While he spoke with them, Goliath stepped forward again. His voice carried across the valley. The soldiers of Israel fled from him as before. David watched and listened. He heard the men speaking about the king's promise to reward anyone who fought the giant. David asked why this Philistine should be allowed to insult the armies of the living God. His words surprised the men around him. His oldest brother grew angry and told him to return to the sheep. David continued to speak with steady confidence. News reached King Saul, and David was brought before him. Saul looked at the young shepherd and said he was too inexperienced to fight a trained warrior. David explained that he had defended his sheep from lions and bears. He had chased them, struck them, and rescued the animals in his care. He said the same God who saved him then would save him now. Saul listened and agreed at last. He placed his own armor on David. The helmet and coat were heavy. David tried to walk, but could not move with ease. He removed the armor and chose his own simple tools. David went to a stream and picked 5 smooth stones. He placed them in his pouch. His sling hung in his hand. With this, he walked out to face Goliath. When Goliath saw him, he laughed. He mocked Israel for sending a youth. He cursed David by the names of his gods and promised to tear him apart. David answered with calm strength. He said that Goliath came with sword and spear, but he came in the name of the Lord of hosts. He said the battle belonged to God and that all who watched would know it. Goliath moved forward. David ran toward him. He reached into his pouch, took one stone, and set it in his sling. He swung it in a steady circle and released it. The stone flew across the space and struck Goliath on the forehead. The giant fell to the ground. David ran to him, took Goliath's own sword, and ended the fight. The Philistines saw their champion fall and fled. The soldiers of Israel shouted and chased them far from the valley. David returned to King Saul, holding the giant's weapon. The king looked at him with wonder. The young shepherd who had come only to bring food had changed the course of the battle. His name spread through the land from that day forward. The story teaches that courage comes from trust in God. It shows that strength is not always found in size or armor. It can rise from a faithful heart that stands firm when others retreat.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel